Capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Here's the Spring League star, Jake Bates, to get us started. And we are underway from Ford Field. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. First carry of the game now for the Texas superstar, Bijan Robinson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. They'll run again here with Robinson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Penix. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept him short of a 1st down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. A beautiful fake. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Lions will take over. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their 38. First carry now for David Montgomery. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now a 2nd and 2. Montgomery on the counter. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Goff now to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Back to throw, Goff. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 1st down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Here's Goff. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And looking to throw, Penix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this down inside the 40 before he's finally ridden out of bounds. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 46 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And this will be caught by Mooney. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. First down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Robinson on a give right side. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Penix. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aiden Hutchinson in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Koo knocks this one through the post. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. And now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. In motion left goes a tight end. Off play action. Here's Goff. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're good training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they'll decline the penalty there and go ahead and keep the yards lost on that last play. Now 3rd down and very long. Now Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. To the air, Penix. And it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll throw with Penix. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Now Penix. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Got an open man. It's McLeod. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Run first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start first and 10. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side, complete to McLeod. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they've got it with second down and less than a yard. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, didn't go for a touchdown. But the runs that really make it work are the ones where you just get what you need, right? And he barely got the first down, but he got it.
Penix working out of the gun here. Robinson's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's got the hook up to McLeod. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Looking for London on the out route complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Tackled there by Alex Anzalone.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's Penix. That's complete to Mooney. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Falcons are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. They'll run with Robinson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
2nd and 2. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Michael Penix taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. I'm pretty sure that was a passing play, but he took off pretty quickly and ran with it.
Love his decisiveness on it, because you're exactly right. He was supposed to go back in the pocket and survey the field and throw the football. But when that hole opened, he just said, forget it, let's go. And boy, did that work out well.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And Detroit getting set to go now. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Goff now looks to throw. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a give running left with Montgomery. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And the tight end goes in motion left. Now Goff. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
From the gun, here's Goff. That's to the tight end, Laporta. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Back to throw, Goff. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Bates' kick is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
So the 3rd drive's the charm. They are on the board, albeit with just a field goal.
Yeah, 3 points from 3 drives. That's not going to win you a whole lot of football games. Hopefully the fact they were able to move the ball a little bit can wake up their offense.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Looking to throw, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
The rookie from Washington putting it right where he needs to. He's got his guys a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say,
and this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
After the interception, here's Goff. Got his man. It's Williams. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll send a receiver in motion left. To throw is Goff. He'll find Williams on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Goff and Williams hooking up there for a Lions first.
Goff now looking to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Disrupting that play and dropping him was Arnold Ebiketie. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
That one let go deep for Laporta.
This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
Sam Laporta,
56 yards.
and the Lions are an extra point away from evening this one up.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they just went 4 verts there against cover 2, didn't they?
They did, and it's really an excellent route versus cover 2 because the longer it develops, the more stress is put on the safeties because they're the ones back, each with half the field responsibilities. The corners don't retreat very far in cover 2. They're closer to the line of scrimmage, so now you've got 4 receivers putting pressure on 2 guys covering. Usually you'll find someone open, and that's exactly what they did there. Made the catch and carried it all the way into the end zone.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So out come the Falcons now. They had the interception on the last drive, which led to the tying touchdown. So 10-10 the score as they begin 1st and 10.
Here now, 2nd and 4. To the air, Penix.
Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
From the shotgun, it's Penix. Got a man, it's London.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
Second down and 4. Now Penix.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Penix. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now here's Bradley Pinion now.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the 3rd. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the 3rd quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one, and we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
In motion goes Patrick.
Now it's Goff. He's going to launch this thing way downfield.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
Goff.
A throw out wide going to be incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game, and let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, Goff. He wants it all for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Tim Patrick, 51 yards. And the Lions have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 17-10 score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now.
Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now.
And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. A play fake. Now Penix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And looking to throw, Penix going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
They'll go play action here with Penix.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
They'll throw with Penix. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here's Penix.
Able to complete this one to McLeod. So the completion good for just 3, and that'll make it 2nd down. He'll drop to throw.
Short throw caught by Pitts.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
4th down, and the attention turns to
On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and the attention turns.
On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Lions offense set to take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's Williams on the catch. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Remember, on their last drive, they had that pass play for a touchdown, and here they come out firing again. This play's not quite as good in the end result, but still good enough for a quick 1st down.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
16 more on that one and another 1st down.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Here's Goff.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing. And that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3. Just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good, solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Goff now looks to throw.
There's Laporta. He's got it. Touchdown, Lions.
Jared Goff with his third touchdown pass of the afternoon.
And the Lions are able to widen their advantage.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. Robinson with another carry.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. The tight end in motion right.
On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. Into the hands of London.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's taken on the 25. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And Detroit back in possession of the football. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Handoff comes to Montgomery.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
10 more there and another 1st down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
In motion, the tight end. They'll try the air now with Goff. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit.
Off play action. Here's Goff.
That pass caught. It's Williams.
And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23. 23 yards the pickup there. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Play action. It's Goff. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Now Penix. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
So here come the Lions now. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now it's Goff. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Zach Harrison
in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And this is caught by Williams.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Back to throw. Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now Goff.
He's got right on the short throw.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff.
And the Lions have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. From the shotgun, it's Penix.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And looking to throw, Penix. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
To the air, Penix.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Lions on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Goff now to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. A give. This is Montgomery.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 98 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Here's 2nd and 10.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Gone. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
In motion left goes a tight end. On 3rd down they go Montgomery. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal.
On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt.
Bates' kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
They'll go play action here with Penix.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on, a big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They are going for it. Penix. Throw left side. There's London.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play.
So out now come the Lions.
It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery.
And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 114 yards on the ground so far for Montgomery. It's a 1st down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On the ground, it's Montgomery. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Divine Diablo there to make the stop.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. They'll run with Montgomery, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him.
Point after, right down the middle. And this add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Falcons ready to take over.
They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence.
That's brought in downfield by London.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.